as we continue the tracking of this restore and protect oil, today what I'm going to do is this is about I'm at about 1,100 miles on this oil. So I'm going to change the filter here. And I've already, just going to show you the filter that goes on this 2006 Colorado. And I'm going to take off the one that has 1,100 miles on it, put this one up there. But I also have an old one if I didn't throw them away, and I'm going to cut open both. The old one that was pre Restore and Protect, and cut open the one that has 1,100 miles on it. And I may take an intermediate oil sample, but honestly, not today. I really don't have the time to do that. So, in other words, I'll take an intermediate oil sample because what I'm interested in is the solubles inside of the oil itself. So we'll take a look at that right now in the last report that I got from pre Restore and Protect, where I just had in the Walmart Super Tech. All right, guys, so let's take a look at this report here. This report here is the Walmart Super Tech oil, and I'm going to compare this against the Restore and Protect. Now, I'm going to actually compare this against two, intermediate and a final oil change interval. So we should, even though it's only one comparison, it still should be enough to tell, and also enough to see, based on the comments that we're getting on the videos, that, well, this just shows more proof that everything in Restore and Protects work like it should. So first of all, let's take a look at the report. They give a lot of information, and let's read the comments. Thanks for the notes. This is a first stellar look at the used oil from your Colorado, where metals are at a healthy level after 4,117 miles of use on this field. For a comparison, universal averages show typical results from the GM 3.5. I like that how they use universal averages from a particular car that you're comparing against, not just a broad scope. And those are based on, wow, that is amazing. Those are based on an 8,600 mile oil run. So people on average are running oil in these trucks at 8,600 miles, which is probably not the worst thing in the world, but nothing I would do. You didn't go that far in this field, and the metals are appropriately low to match. Nice. We didn't find any harmful levels of gasoline, antifreeze, or water in the mix, and the air filter did a great job of keeping airborne particles, which is indicated by the silicone, out of the engine. Viscosity is still at the proper range for 5W30. So let's just take a quick look here, and I'll show you what I want to get to in a second. Oh, before I begin, I want to say this. A lot of people talk about oil oxidation, and you see a lot of, and they don't do oil oxidation here. Now, my thing is that while I'm a person, I like to know numbers, practically speaking, if you're just changing your oil every 3,000 or 4,000 miles and using quality oil, the oxidation number really not going to make a difference because it's always going to be within specifications unless you're really doing something wow. You will only want to monitor, at least I'm not trying to be an expert here, I think you would only monitor oxidation if you're trying to do extended oil change intervals on, say, heavier equipment, heavier trucks, machinery, things like that. And again, maybe other situations like racing or anything like that, but for normal everyday driving 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 mile oil change, my guess would be, based on what I've been reading about oxidation in oil, that it would probably be within specifications. So while I'd like to see it, that's not a biggie that it's not here. But what I do want to see is, if you look at the bottom here, again, you can pause the video and take a look at all these numbers, and you can look on the right and see what these things mean. I'm not gonna really walk through that a little bit, but what I want to look at the bottom here is the where it says the insolubles percent. So what is insolubles? First of all, let's go over to the right. Insolubles are solid materials present in the oil. They are typically free carbon from oxidation of the oil itself, along with blow by past the rings. So insoluble percent, my car is 0.1, and the unit and what the value should be is less than 0.6. What I hope to see is when I send in an intermediate oil change interval, that this number perhaps goes up a little bit and at say 3 or 4,000 miles, when I actually do the final oil change and send it in, it'll probably go up, maybe even a little bit higher. So this is what's the interesting thing here. Before the oil properties here, I mean, magnesium, phosphorus, zinc, barium, it's probably a little, I mean, it's a super tech. So it seems to be, except for the phosphorus, everything seems to be a little bit on the low end, but that's okay. I still think, as far as these numbers here, everything looks fantastic. One thing I will note is that the metal flakes that I see inside of the engine, they look like they could be aluminum. Again, it's a total guess. I mean, I got some little wear metals here. Everything is still low, so not too worried about anything. But anyway, this here is the report here. I'm not going to walk through each one of these numbers. I mean, you could just pause the video and just take a look at those. I just want to talk about these insolubles, and that's what's going to be the really important thing for us to track with this oil on my truck. So with that said, let's hop back out to the garage. All right, now, so let's go ahead and take this oil out. The first thing I want to do here is just take this oil out and just see what it looks like. Make sure that it's not, let me just wipe this, give it a fair chance. Let's wipe that off. First of all, I'll say that if you look at my napkin, it doesn't really look, the oil still looks very clean, 1,100 miles. Again, I'm not expecting much. I know that's just probably some, I'm not sure what that is, but again, look how clean that oil is. This truck was well maintained before I got it, and I will have been well maintained in it since I've had it. I honestly don't expect much from Restore and Protect on this particular vehicle. Now, if we take a look at, let's see, can we get that into focus here? We take a look at that. The oil looks pretty clean there, and not much. Whoops, get that back into focus. There's not much to really be said there. Let's turn it over. What we'll do is we'll take a clean side of the napkin, and we'll just press it and just take a look at the napkin. Look at that. Very clean oil. The oil is not black at all. 1,100 miles. So again, don't expect much change in this truck here. So probably I'm only going to use it once and then go back to Super Tech. But in my red Buick, my beautiful red Buick you should see up on the screen right now, I know that car has not been well maintained before I got it. And we should see some effect from the Restore and Protect. I'm going to change the oil in that car probably next weekend. So be on the lookout for that. So anyway, this is the filter we're about to install. So let's go ahead under the truck and take the old one off, put the new one up there, and cut open some filters. All right, so we're up under the truck now. As you can see, this is about the best shot I can get, just to make this entertaining, I guess. So as you can see, here's a filter here. Should be able to get this off of my hand, but if not, I got my pliers down here with me as well. Let's see, I can't really get any leverage on it right here. So I may have to just stick these pliers up in here. Sometime I can get a good leverage on it, but I guess because of the way I got my camera in the way, I can't really get the leverage on it. I'll tell you what, let me just scoot back for 1 second and try something different. Just a slightly different angle here. I might be able to get enough leverage this way to get a nice grip on my palm. Let's see. I think so. Oh yeah, there we go. It's turning just a little slow. Yeah, there we go. As you can see, try to zoom that in as much as I can. I guess I can't do but so much zoom in here. All right, so let's go ahead, take that off. One thing I like about this truck, I don't know if you can see that, they got a little spout right here for the oil when it comes out to run down. But I don't know if you can see that, but this oil here, I'm gonna try to keep the camera in focus here as I can. That oil is really clean. As you can see, my truck has been quite well maintained here. So I'm not surprised by this result of not seeing much of a difference here. In all honesty, just turn it upside down. My hand's a little dirty. Let me get a napkin here and wipe off my hand. Probably gonna put some more oil in here. Probably feel like we're losing probably about a half a quart maybe between what just ran out plus the plus what was inside the filter. Let me check that filter. Okay, yeah, gotta make sure that the little gasket is on that. That's like a, you know, the thing you gotta do. All right, let me just clean up in here a little bit. Let's see. Got to see where my oil filter go. So that way I'm going to wipe it down a little bit. I'm going to wipe around here just a bit. Let's see. Because the camera and stuff in the way, I'm trying to just work around that. As you can see, as you can probably tell, I'm bumping into the camera a little bit, but all right. So now, being that we got that out of the way, let me get a little bit of this oil here and lube up this gasket here. Okay, that's good enough. Let me check that gasket out. Yeah, that's good. Nice and lubed up. Okay. Tell you what, working with oil and fluids is usually the easiest job, but it is also the dirtiest job. As you can see here, my hands are quite dirty. And, you know, when you're doing differential fluids, transmission fluids, it just feels like it just gets everywhere. Or not necessarily so much, but see if I can get that seated up there properly. It's gonna take me a second here I think it's seated. I think it's actually going, I think it was, but yeah, there we go. Put that back now. We need to get another napkin so I can wipe my hand again so I can get a better grip, make sure I get a nice hand tight grip on that. Yeah, there we go. We're getting them good. I tell you what, since this is done here, I can slide this pan out of the way. I can get better movement. Oh yeah, there we go. That's even better. Okay, now. All right, there we go. Nice and hand tight. And that's it. I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll just wipe this down. I normally don't spray this with like anything like you know, brake clean or anything. I just normally wipe it down, and that's usually good enough for this part here. Let's see here. There we go. Had to keep that nice and clean. But anyway, there's the filter. Let's go ahead and cut this puppy open and compare it to the other one. All right, guys, we're up on the bench here. This is a filter I took off the last time that I had here. As you can see, same filter. This right here had the Walmart Super Tech in it. So again, it's just going to be a one-round comparison here because, again, I don't think we're going to see much from this truck anyway. So, yeah, that's just it. So anyway, we'll go ahead and take the gasket off. So if you've never seen one of these things, how they work is you just kind of unscrew them like this, and that pulls down, and then you fit the filter inside of it. And as you twist this, tighten this, you kind of, as you turn this to cut, you tighten this in here down. Pretty easy. But again, I know a lot of people probably have seen this, but I just want to show it maybe to some people who've never seen this in action. So, yeah, again, because like I said, one thing about me having a science background, like that's one of the things you learn is always add introductory material because you can't assume everybody knows everything about your topic here. So what we're going to do here, we're just going to spin the filter. I'm just going to, give me a paper towel here. Spin this filter right here. I think I'm cutting a little too deep into it because again, I tighten this up a little bit. So it's better for me to, instead of spinning this right here so you won't see it, I'm just doing it just like this. You can do it either way. It doesn't really matter. I'm getting a paper towel just to give me a little grip here. I think it might be, there we go. I think we cut through there. I think we're in. Let's see, we go. Oh, there we go. I think we're in. That should come off the hole. Let me tighten, give me a second. Tighten that back up. I think I might have to do a few more revolutions here just to verify.
There we go. All right, so that's it. So anyway, this is the top part of the filter here. This thing, for some reason, if you've never cut open one, I'd highly recommend cutting open your own filters, even if you just do it every once in a while. For some reason, the first thing that and I mentioned this in my last video, the first thing that really intrigued me is just how heavy this part is. So anyway, this, again, just to recap here, this is the old filter, and we are going to open up a new filter. I just have that sitting on the floor, letting it drain as much as possible, because if you've cut up one of these, you know these things hold a lot of material, a lot of oil, more than you think. So anyway, there's the gasket there. Not anything special. Feels like it's a little, I don't know, not quite smooth around that little inner ring, as you can see here. I don't know if you can really pick that up well on camera, but maybe it's just how it's designed. All right, this is what we want to get to here, the real skinny. Okay, inside, let me get I need a flashlight as well. Give me a second here. Just want to look down because my light is above my head and my camera's at an angle, so I'm going to make sure you can see inside of here. As you can see, not much going on inside of there, which is pretty good. Sometimes you see stuff caked in the bottom if you got a bad filter or bad oil or bad something. So anyway, that's the outer casing. Okay, so next, anti-drain back valve material. There's no spring here. Interesting. Does this kind of move here? Or does this kind of pop? Normally these things, I believe, have a spring. These are interesting. And this piece here is plastic on the inside versus having a metallic inside. Probably doesn't make all that much difference, but I'm just saying it's just a different design. That's just it. So anyway, let's get out the trusty blade here. Cut open these materials here. Make that a little deeper there. Make sure we're getting through there on the first go around. And we will be putting these on a microscope, by the way. I think if you watch my video, you should probably have already suspected that. But if you haven't watched my video, watch my videos. Yes, I do put these under the microscope. I have a 1200X microscope that these will be going under soon as I finish getting these out of here. I know that's not necessarily the best job, but again, we're trying to see the major portions of the pleats right here in the middle anyway. Plus this blade, I need to break this blade off, because you know you can just break it on these little slits here. Probably need to break it off. So I'm going to break it out a little bit. Maybe I can get some better slices with it, if you will. Let's try it like this. Okay, not so bad. Yeah, let's go ahead and pull that off. That's good enough. Takes a little effort to get these things out of here, I gotta say. All right, so let's see, can we get that inner core out? That's the inner core there. Plastic, very, very strong feeling plastic too, but still lots of surface area, because you know when we looked at I looked at a few in the past, especially one from here. Maybe we can take a look at that real quick. Just for a quick comparison, like when on the inside here, this one here was metal. This guy here was metal, as you can see here. Got a little spring on it too. That one here does not have a spring. I just thought that was odd. But anyway, let me put this back over here in this bag out of the way. Keep these separated. Okay. So now, whoops, pick that up. So now all we're really interested in is this material here. All right, so let's just take all this other materials, and we can just set that actually inside of the old can here, because all of that doesn't make us too much of a difference here. Okay, put all that together. That's that one there. We'll just set it in this bag right here temporarily. Okay. So anyway, that is the material. So what we can do is we could just say that this one right here that has this bigger edge here, this is the old one here. Go ahead and cut that down the side. We'll do all the inspection stuff here in a minute once I reset the camera up, and once we reset the camera up, you know, like the actual microscope. Right now we're just cutting them through. Now let's get the new one, or the latest one. This thing right here is probably chock full of oil, and I just let it drain and poured out all that oil. I don't know if you could really see down in there. It's still oil in here. This is wild. All right. These things hold a lot of oil and a lot. I mean, it's the material, the media, and everything. It's amazing just how well these things are engineered to do stuff. You know what? In fact, let me move this here out of the way just in case for some odd reason if it get contaminated somehow. I want to make sure that that stays separate. I would set that one there. All right, right there. All right, hands a little slippery here, but we can still work with what we got. All right. Okay, now get this one back. So this one I'm gonna just go like this. Since you already seen how it works, I'm gonna go like this with this one since it's a little bit faster. It's a little bit easier doing it this way here. Because I'm just spinning it like so, as you can see. Still probably need to get a little paper right here for some grip, but it's a lot faster and easier doing it this way. Woo! Got a little too aggressive on that one, but look at that. You see what I'm saying? I let that thing drain, and all the oil that I poured out of it, look how much oil is right here. And let me get my light. I don't want to get my tools too. I know tools are for working, but I like to keep them. No, I'm a DIYer, so I like to keep my tools as clean as possible. But let's take a look down in here. Let me show you how much oil is down in this thing. Look at that. Can you see? I know it's kind of hard to see because I can't really put the light. Let's see, can I come on this side? Yeah. A lot of oil. All right, so now let's go ahead and pull this out. Wow, wow how much oil is in this thing. I mean, literally, I just poured out. I mean, how much oil do we see come out? When I poured it out on the drain pan I have, plus just left it upside down for, I don't know, probably at least 10 minutes. And it's still, let me pick this back up again. I got to let y'all, hopefully you can see how much oil is left in this thing. That is crazy. See if I can get a better angle here. Look how much oil is in that. It's almost touching the tip. It's almost touching the tip. And you see how far, I mean, that's a lot of oil there. That is wild. All right. So what I'll do is I got an old little jug right here. So just pour that in there. Oops. Yeah, oil is messy. Oil, any kind of differential fluid. All right, so let's see. Bottom is very clean. We'll take a look at that here in a second. Go slow here. Don't want to get too aggressive and oil fly everywhere here. I've been known to make mistakes like that. All right, so now let's take this back and take this little valve out. There's a little thing. Looks really clean. Look how clean that oil is. 1,100 miles. So again, I don't really know what to say other than you can see down in here, there's nothing except for a little oil. I'm just spinning out of the way, but there's really nothing. That looks to be, so I don't know though. Hold up. Now that's different. And look at this. Because again, there could be some deposits here removed. Take a look at this. I don't know if you can see, if I can get it on camera good enough. I don't think I can. But if you can see, let's see. See it, look up top there. See them little, it look like little, so in other words, I think this oil, the solubility as we talked about earlier, may have changed in this oil. So what I'm gonna do is I can't do it today, I don't really have the time, but I'm gonna take a sample of this oil out and we're going to send that off as an intermediate check. So, because I'm curious to see in the middle of the oil change interval and at the end, does it increase, say, a little bit and then a little bit more? That's what I want to know. So if that is the case, then, I mean, clean as this oil is, and we didn't see that in the Walmart filter, and the filter that had the SuperTech in it, I know that's only an N of 1, meaning that's only one sample, but still, it gives some indication. Not necessarily can use it as a factual thing, but you could say, it's meaningful. Let's put it that way. All right, let me move this here out of the way. Got a lot of cleaning up here to do. Oh my God, oil, look at this, oil everywhere. Okay. All right, it says my camera says it's heating up here. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me get my fan here. My camera's a little hot in this garage. Hopefully, let me see. I got my other Valovline fan right here. I probably can put behind it to brush air across it. It just needs some air across it. Let's see. That'd probably be good enough there. Let's see. Yeah. So anyway, what I might do, I'm gonna see how this works. So once I cut this open, I made this. I'm still gonna finish the video. This may take me a little longer than I thought, because I may have to let my camera cool down. But this fan here should be enough to cool it off. I have a Sony camera, and what it is, I got a Sony camera, but I also my tripod has a battery in it, so I can run it for an extended period of time. And I love this tripod. So and I'll link that in the pinned comment if you're interested in wanting to make your GoPro anything last way, way long. I'm talking like you can literally record all day with this thing, provided that the temperature is good for your unit. Okay, take that off. So if I just stop recording suddenly, that just means that my camera has just just kind of took a hiatus, but that's okay. We'll still finish the video no matter what. All right, so everything we've already seen, we're not gonna go over that too much. Well, look at them clean pleats. Everything looks really clean, but the microscope may give us some more insight. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and cut this one in half. And what I'll do is I'll just let this one soak here in this pig mat for a few minutes anyway. And while this is waiting, I'm gonna turn my camera off for a few minutes, because I got to set up for my I got to set up anyway for the microscope. Turn my camera off, let that cool down, make sure we're good to go. Oh, it just saved it anyway with so I'm gonna keep my fan out. The temperature thing on the camera just turned off. So anyway, but I still have to cut it off. I'll be back here shortly, and we'll be under the microscope. All right, guys, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at this right here. Is the first one that is Restore and Protect. So what we're going to do is we're going to start recording now, and well, let's go ahead and put a look under the microscope. We're going to look at the outside of the filter first. Let's just take a good look here. I got my tweezers here somewhere, but I'll probably just get my pick out. Give me a second here. Just I just want something to point at something with. Let's see if I can find, or if I can find my tweezers. I don't know. Oh, here we go. They're sitting right in my face. If it was as the old saying goes, if it was a snake, it would have bit me. All right, so let's see here. All right, now here we go. Let's go ahead and zoom in. Let's get a little closer. Anybody here remember that old commercial Arid Extra Dry? Get a little closer with an Arid Extra Dry. All right, I thought that was funny, but anyway. All right, let's begin working our way over the filter again. We're not going to probably see everything 100%, but we'll see something here. All right, so so far looks like for example, these spots right here. Let's see here where they at here. I assume As you see these spots right here, I assume that they're just maybe some little deposit spots. Maybe they could even be ink spots. I'm not entirely for sure. Yeah, it look like it could be some type of deposit spot. But they're not really consistent. I think they do have some ink on these in some cases, but yeah. See, all these little spots, it looks subtle, but if you look like about right here, see these little spots here. Don't really know. I mean, my microscope ain't that good, and I don't have the expertise to really say, do I think that's any type of oil or not, or deposits, or is it some sort of artifact from manufacturing? Okay. What is this little guy here? All the way up over here. Probably not much. Oh, I see something like a metal flake. Let's go with that and see what that looks like. Is that a metal flake? I mean, of course, you should probably see some metal. Yeah, right here. Yeah, like a little metal flake right there. I just moved it somewhere, probably. Yeah, I think that, well, that's a one. That looks like one, and that looks. But again, I've looked through multiple filters now. I mean, I only looked through like this is the third one, but still, that appears to be normal to see some small things like that. But again, again, I don't want to claim I'm an expert or anything like that, but just want to say at least so far it seems to be pretty normal. Let's see what we got here. That looks like it could be a little deposit piece here. Now, one thing that's interesting now, don't forget this. Now, the Restore and Protect, wait a minute, I can't push this back further enough to get this one in here. Let me see if I can turn it this way then. I had to turn it this way to get it in, yeah, right here. One thing about the Restore and Protect, maybe it could keep more of the particles in suspension. So you may not see a whole lot inside of the filter. Because that was interesting, seeing those little particles in the bottom of the, housing there. What is this here? Is this let's see. Is that something? Yeah, a little something there. Little metal, appears to be a little piece of metal here, a little flake here. Let's see what this right here is. Let me focus that a little bit better there. A little bit better there. Don't appear to be nothing. It's a little artifact. Again, not really seeing anything, but not really necessarily expecting to see anything. Now, that's a big piece of metal. Wow, that's humongous. I mean, it's very tiny. I mean, I got this thing zoomed in quite low, but still, wow, that is huge. I mean, compared to the other pieces, but I mean, it's not huge in reality. Let me see if I can pull it up to the camera real quick and get you there. I don't know if can I even make that even? If I even could make that so you could even see it. But if you see, wait a minute, let me get my light here. I think you can, it's still very small, but it's very big relative to other things. Hold on, let me switch angles here. It is quite interesting. Let's see here. Oh, it didn't fall off. But that's okay. You saw what it was. It was very tiny. I mean, it's not. Oh, there it is, right there. Actually, no, it's not. That's not it. But anyway, as you can see, that was it was big relative to other pieces, but it wasn't anything that would be alarming necessarily if you've seen the actual size of it. Like, for example, this little piece right here in the middle of the screen is so small that I'm pretty sure there's no way, I'm looking at it as, there's no way I would see that without this microscope. I mean, but the other piece was just, I don't know. It wasn't that big, but it was, relatively big. Pretty interesting, though. But the good thing is that we only seen something that big like once, so it always helps. Okay. Another little interesting flake here. Let's see what this is. What is it? Where's my... Yeah. A little interesting flake there. Let's focus that a little bit. Not so bad. Okay. And again, like I said, I'm going to just really quickly Oh, there's a big one. Look at this one. Look at this guy here. Give me a second. Look at that. This look like a little shard. That's interesting. I wonder where that came from. Like, what is that? Like, you could do material testing to see where that could have came from. It looks kind of fresh too. That's interesting, actually. So let's turn it over. Let me see, is there anything interesting? I see some big, let's see, some bigger, what is it, piece? Yeah, some bigger, like, deposits, like right here. Don't know what that is. That could even be a piece of paper almost, a little piece of trash or something. So the filters work. I mean, obviously if it's something caught in there, small enough it'll catch it. All right, so let's flip it over to the inside. So it appears that the oil gets sucked in from the outside. Again, I'm still learning about this, and because again, the inside is very clean. I don't even, again, that's why I'm moving kind of fast here. I don't really see necessarily anything just yet that'll make me want to stop. And you see, this is what I was talking about with the ink. For example, if you look down here at the bottom, let me show you this. Let me go up to the top. You see this? Let me get it into focus here. You see this line of ink here? That line of ink is consistent all the way down the media. So, if you don't, I was just saying this to say that on the other side, some things that look like ink, it could be just in the manufacturing process, just maybe some excess could have got pushed through the other side, but I doubt it. It's probably just deposits like we said. But really, again, it's nothing really to slow down here and look at. I don't really see, I mean, like just looking at it with a naked eye, I mean, there's literally nothing to see here on this side here. So just to keep the video short, and hey, if you got an idea, just let me know. I'm not going to throw these away. Just let me know and we'll come back to these. All right, so let me take this one right here and set it off to the side. Okay, I've set that one back to the side. Now we're going to bring the new guy over here. This guy is a little dirty. Well, when I say dirty, I mean as in oil. Take a look here. See what this is. See right? Oh man, it's got more deposits in it though. Look at this already. I didn't see. Look at all them deposits down in them pleats though. Now that's something. Look at that. So really, it did. So obviously, and I didn't think it wouldn't do. That's why I said I always made the disclaimer it probably wouldn't do much of anything. But look at that. You can really see way more. Look at it. All that is deposit, like it's been caught. And that's just in the third pleat I'm looking at. Look at this here. This is another pleat. I've skipped over one that looks just like this. I'm just looking at this for illustration. Look at all this. Look at all this if we start here. So what it is that it can't keep that. In other words, we've already discovered, but we've seen it here in real time, that there is a threshold on how much solubility stuff this can hold, and if the filter can actually catch it. So in other words, in my truck is probably not exceeded. It's just that these pieces are too big probably to fit through the filter to keep being maintained inside of the oil suspension. So in fact, we are going to do I can't do it today, but give me another week. I'm going to do a intermediate oil analysis to look at the solubles in it, insolubles rather. All right, wow, this is amazing because to me, I clearly see a difference here. I mean, this is like night and day. I mean, between all, especially right down in the line of pleats. Look, like if you go, I mean, essentially every pleat looks just like this, and all of that. If you take a look at this, this is our deposit, because you could just smash that right out there like that. And another thing is that I'm not saying that I don't really see any necessarily where I spoke too quick. I was going to say I didn't see any metal flakes just yet. I think I see one here. There's one. So interesting that these things are. But again, that was the first one that I saw with my naked eye. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's probably more here, but I'm just looking through. And again, look at that. Going through, seeing the same thing. Let's go down a few more pleats. Look at that. Same thing. So in other words, even if you don't have a problem and you have a well-maintained vehicle, which, again, if you read the comments and look at the other videos we've talked about, you still can probably get some benefit from this oil. Like I said, I don't think I would necessarily. I might still go through another oil change interval with this based on this. At first, I thought I wasn't, but now I think I am. I mean, look at here again. I mean, all down here. Look at this. Let's take a look here. I mean, all through this filter is just like it. All the pleats, every single one of them has got insolubles trapped. Every single one of them like this. I mean, not just a little bit. I'm talking an actual lot. I mean, it is amazing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna snap a few pictures. I'm gonna stretch this out, snap a few pictures so you can see just how it looks stretched out. So you can see, because under the microscope, it kind of. In fact, let me lift the microscope up. Under the microscope, you can see so up close. You can't really see the quote-unquote bigger picture. I'm gonna see if I lift it up. But either way, you'll see some photos on the screen already and see some more probably by now. Let's see. Yeah, that helps. No, that doesn't really help. It just diminishes a little bit of the effect of how much is catching in these pleats. See right here, look, oh yeah, a little bit. Now it's better. Look at all these pleats just like this. All these pleats just like this. But anyway, so, and all the rest of the pleats look essentially the same. Again, I'm not going to go through them all again. I have already stuck pictures up so you can see that. And we're just going to flip it over and just take a look at the other side. Other side, again, probably, let me go down lower. Probably not going to spend a lot of time here because, again, to me it appears that the oil sucks in from the outer. So that's why it's catching everything. So let me just zoom in here a little bit. Yeah, really not a whole lot on. I mean, it's nothing on this side. It's like the other one. It's just like super clean. I mean, I'll even take a picture of this right here and pop it up on the screen now so you can see what that looks like and see that, again, this thing is just on the inside, just like the other one was pretty immaculate. Don't see much of anything. Still see the same, let's see, can we get that line up? That's the ink right there I was talking about. See, now, let's manipulate this ink a little bit to see. See, it doesn't quite move around like the insoluble. See how if you kind of scratch it, it kind of sits in place? I mean, you can move it, yeah, but again, so in other words, just trying to say you can really discern those insolubles. Let's take a look at this crease real quick. What's that? Let's take a look at that. What is that? Let me focus that a little bit. Oh, that's probably some just glue. I'm assuming that's what it is. Yeah, that's some glue. That's really, really sticky. Yeah, I'm pushing on that pretty substantially. Yep. All right, so that pretty much sums this video up. So what did we learn here? First thing we learned is that this just adds more validity to the fact that Restore and Protect actually works. Second of all, this engine has been well maintained, and as you can see, it's still, again, you can well maintain engines, but obviously everybody here probably would know that, most everybody, that you're still gonna have some varnishing, some carbon somewhere in the engine. So this stuff actually gets it out. And there you have it. I mean, I can't say any much more about it. I mean, this is one of the first times that, you know, particularly with an oil product, that I have been quite amazed by. So with that said, I appreciate you guys watching, and stay tuned. I'm gonna come back with the video with this intermediate oil change. I mean, not oil change interval, but it's just intermediate oil sampling. We're gonna send that off, and we're going to get those results. It might take a few weeks to get those results back, but it'll still be worth the wait. We're going to learn something here. But anyway, take care, and I really appreciate you guys watching, and see you on the next one.